this system that we've had all morning, there is an end in sight, and potentially the end of this race could start to dry out.
This track is going to change as this race goes on, and you're going to have to keep up with it.
We might end up getting drenched. I hope not. Staying like this is fine with me. All the fast MotoAmerica riders in the rain are in Supersport.
It doesn't matter what bike, what class. When the rain comes, Kayla always shines and works her way to the front. I think she likes it. It's one of those challenges that she looks forward to.
She was fast this morning, wasn't she?
This is like her deal. I mean, every time we've seen her in the rain, she has just podium potential written all over her.
Schultz, during the race, he's gonna barrel through everybody probably by the time we get to like 5-6. You just tuck in behind him and let him push everybody out of the way.
Unless you get a better start.
Then you push everybody out of the way.
You know what to do. Love you, have fun.
Looks like it's going to be a Vision Wheel M4 X-Star Suzuki of Ty Scott, number 70. He gets into turn 1 first, but now we're going to wait and see how they go at the top of the hill. Corey Alexander into second spot as his teammate PJ Jacobson goes to the top of the pile.
We just watched her like ticking off spots left and right.
Right now, the two Ducatis out front with the Yamaha R6 of Blake Davis holding on to these guys running third. Kayla has moved herself from that third road race. She's up to 6th now.
She gained 0.6 to the leader.
These riders at the front are getting faster and faster as they go. 42.3 for Kayla Yaakov. She is now the quickest rider on the track.
Oh!
The scariest part about this is when we start to see these lap times continue to drop. You have to creep up onto the edge as far as your maximum performance. You're creeping up on that edge.
Oh, and it looks like Kayla Yaakov is down.
Kayla has gone down on the exit of turn 5.
After setting the fastest lap of the race, the 16-year-old hit the deck. She's trying to pick that motorcycle up.
She go down. She go down. Is she up and moving? Did she get back on track or is she off? It was good for a minute. We could have swept the podium. She just crashed out after setting the fastest lap of the race. Damn.
Road Atlanta was kind of a tough pill to swallow, but I was extremely hard on myself that weekend. I was just really upset because I think we could have seen Rahal Ducati lock out.
On the road,
okay.
I've been away for far too long, but now I'm on my way back home. I hear the west winds calling.
How are you already out of breath? You like ran one of the hedgerows. Going to the race, I had a lot of confidence. I was working my way through the pack and was trying to catch up to the front guys, just set the fastest lap of the race. Just coming through turn 5, I actually had just had a moment at the bottom of the S's and I was like, okay, I should probably chill out a little bit. And as soon as I said that, I'm in the air high-siding. So there's a lot to be proud of from that weekend, and I just have to look at it that way.
For you to fall into my arms, the place I call my home.
Being a big sister is a big deal. We don't spend as much time here, you know, we're gone so much. I'm either here, you know, getting ready to leave, or I'm at my mom's house, which is also here in Gettysburg.
You know, I remember my brothers when I was younger, and they're my biggest heroes, and they still are, but I just remember growing up with them, I just wanted to be with them all the time, and I see that in Lucy.
Lucy!
Kayla, we're gonna find you! I don't know where it's going!
No. I'm her role model. I want to show her that I can make it and she can do the same wherever she goes. Whatever she can do, she can be as good as anyone else and maybe even better.
Kayla keeps leaving me in random places in the maze. She runs away, she chases me, so that's how I don't know where I'm going.
It's pretty accurate.
The King of the Baggers class got a jolt of exposure when they were invited to join the MotoGP paddock at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas.
I haven't seen the schedule yet, so I'll be more stoked after I see the schedule, depending on how much time we get on track. Hopefully we're not like the third redheaded stepchild.
We were like a pretty big piece of the show there, so it definitely showed people that the Bagger Series isn't just like a sideshow.
Energy was high. You know, this is the grand stage, it's rad. Everybody's fired up.
Qualifying started strong for Bobby, as he was the first rider to go under 2:16 on a lap.
P1, 15.9. We're a second in front of Wyman.
10 seconds off MotoGP time.
Wow. That doesn't even make sense, dude.
Do you think you can make a station wagon? Do you think you can make a minivan go around a racetrack 10 seconds off an F1 car?
No, impossible.
Off an F1 car with a stock chassis.
10-4. He might be coming in.
The momentum came to a halt with an engine problem, and the team shut it down for the session.
We ended up pushing the bike down the pit lane because he lost most of the rods.
The motor's
blown up.
We're in that position.
You're 15, P1. You're 10 seconds off of MotoGP time, bro.
Good.
Yeah.
You're on the world stage, so you're really trying hard not to make any mistakes and put your best foot forward.
Sorry, homie.
We definitely had a job cut out for us.
Bagger racing.
Try to figure out this little issue and then go out and try to top the session. It's good confidence for the guys, at least from the Daytona we had to here. It's good to lead for a little bit. Feels good.
Bobby didn't put in a faster lap in Q2 and ends up P4 on the grid, which puts him in the challenge race.
This motor's slow, it doesn't downshift right, and there's absolutely no grip, and the gearing's too tall.
He gets off the bike after qualifying, says, "Man, what are we gonna do? I can't get the bike to turn. It won't turn. I don't know what to do." And I'm like, "Man, I'll make a couple of changes, but we're short on time to get the fuel in, to get the tires changed and all that." And I was like, "You're just gonna have to deal with it."
We gotta put that 58 tooth sprocket back on it. And we've got 4 minutes.
Safety wire. You put your finger on that socket just for some pressure.
2 minutes.
Yeah. More pressure.
1 minute. 30 seconds. We're good. Let's get the warmers off.
Unplug it, drop it. Get the warmer off.
Warmers off. Pit lane is open.
Go ahead. Hey, our axle's tight. Hey boys, we're in the first race at MotoGP.
Good hustle, fellas.
Good job, dude.
Here we go. Kyle Wyman with a bit of a wheelie, but a good launch. But on the outside from pole, it looks like it's going to be our pole sitter, Tyler O'Hara, leading us into turn number 1. And his teammate, Troy Herfoss, looks like that's Bobby Fong.
Yeah,
Bobby Fong ends up sweeping his way into second place.
Kyle Wyman back there 4th and Hayden Gillum 5th. We have
the problem.
O'Hara. Got a problem, O'Hara. I didn't see any red flags or anything. He just had a problem, and he has pulled off. So now he got 4 bikes.
P1, fellas. We're leading the race.
Wow.
As they come down at the end of the back straightaway, it's going to be Herfoss and Bobby Fong are going to lead them down into the stadium section here at Circuit of the Americas. 4 guys. I mean, he's going really
up
tight.
the inside goes Bobby Fong. And Troy Herfoss cuts it back underneath him.
Come on, Bob. Come on, brother.
He said it didn't turn.
Oh, he came underneath him.
It looked like Herfoss had the speed to cover it, and Bobby Fong just rolled right underneath him.
Typical Bobby fashion, he goes out in the race and proceeds to turn the bike underneath every bike that was on the grid at some point during the race.
Bobby had to look around too when he went to full leading.
Whoa! Hey,
Wyman up and out of the saddle, just spinning the thing sideways.
Kyle Wyman jumps himself back up into third, gets it. I tried to.
Whoa!
Ran in the back of him.
Contact with Wyman. Fong had nowhere to go as Herfoss parked him at the top of turn number 1. Wow.
Pull that thing home, Bob. Just bring it home, dude.
Once he got hit from behind, it cleared probably 15 bike lengths to the front from everybody. So at that point, the race was for second.
Holy smokes, dude. I don't even know how he's trying to make that line work. Yeah.
Bobby Fong, he's able to get that Indian into these turns really tight, get the bike turned and stood up and shot out.
He's like, I can still get him. He's sniffing it.
Come on, Bob. Get some. Looks like it turns okay.
Bobby under.
Yeah! Yeah, Bob! Run, Bobby!
Hit it!
All right, bring her home fast. Holy smoky.
The 17 of Troy Herfoss.
3-time Australian Superbike champ, and he will take his first victory in the challenge race for Mission King of the Baggers.
I didn't give up at the end. We had a little mishap in turn 1, but Herfoss kind of checked out after that. I don't know who hit me out there. Actually, it was pretty wild, honestly. I'm doing kind of a funky line up there anyways. I'm kind of squaring things off a little bit, so I might have did it to myself. Who knows?
On Saturday in race 1, Bobby latched on to the front group most of the race, but with 2 laps to go, he makes a mistake running wide and finishes 7th.
Kyle Wyman now is definitely able to feel the draft off that Indian as they head down that back straightaway.
Not a lot of room with those bags hanging off the back of that motorcycle, but Herfoss able to get it done, moves himself into 3rd place.
You see Bobby Fong has ran wide at the end of the back straightaway, so Herfoss now has got the hurry up. He has got by Gillum, he had got by Fong, now he's got by Rispoli.
We had an engine problem in race 1, and we couldn't continue with that engine. It was our last engine. So we went down to the factory team and told them our situation, and they gave us one of their used engines.
Remember, if you don't like that throttle map, hit the button. Yeah.
They run a little bit different clutch than we do. Bobby's run them before, but never on a bike that heavy. It has a lot more slip than the clutch that he's used to. We just ran out of time, so he really had 6 laps to learn that setting and try to win the race at the same time.
Hey, this fun. I love it. All right, I'm in the bobsled.
Okay.
Can you try to even just squeeze a little to relieve it, at least off the start, to get that thing jamming? Hang on to this, and just, if you put a little pressure, like a supermoto.
Considering all he overcame in that race, I thought he did really well.
Running the factory-borrowed engine in race 2, they finished 4th.
Wyman on the gas, behind the bubble, and to the line they come, and Wyman takes victory, and a 14.8 for Kyle Wyman on the last lap, and Rispoli holding on to 3rd, and a new track record, and Mission King of the Baggers finally dip into the 2:14 bracket.
Amazing.
Incredible, by 0.6 of a second over Troy Herfoss and James Rispoli in 3rd, Bobby Fong and Tyler O'Hara.
Put on a show for everybody, and hopefully GP liked us here, so looking forward to coming back next year, hopefully.
I would say that we probably had almost every MotoGP team in the paddock come by and look at our pit at some point during the weekend and ask a million questions. It was awesome.
Those guys were tripping that we were going as fast as the Moto3 bikes.
They're watching, they're paying attention, they see the numbers, they see the lap times, and they go, oh, wait. That's my big takeaway from the 2 worlds colliding, The respect, I didn't know. I thought they would just kind of be like, this is this home American dumb thing. But when you see the lap times, they can't poo-poo on it, It's real.
The weekend in Austin wraps up with a search for the best taco truck.
What do we got?
They don't have any scramps for you. Can we get the smoked mac and cheese, no meat? And then I'll do the pulled pork and the brisket taco.
Saturday night, he was up, woke me up, and then I was like, oh, okay, I feel bad, so I stayed awake with him. And then that was Friday night, and then Saturday night, I heard him up, and there was no way I was getting up. I'm like, you're on your own.
Earplugs and extra blankets, because dude puts the AC at like 59 degrees. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but he brought his blankie all the way from home. He's traveled his blanket around to every round. Although I go to the track with him, I barely get to spend time with him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, we're back at the hotel, let's snuggle, let's watch TV. And he just gives me the hotel blankets and goes, that's your side, this is mine. And he goes and he snuggles with his blanket on his side.
You know, while you were up getting drinks, we were talking about your binky. What's the story with your binky? Your blanket that has to...
Dude, you freeze your nutsack off in the rooms. You need your blanket, man. I guess Kurt was lighting me up. We did the thing because Kurt was on this thing on Sunday. He was like, yeah, Bobby has to have his binky every time he goes to sleep. He's talking about my blanket. All right, I'm gonna put this in the car real quick. Hold on.
I'm just, you know, I mean, I've seen that thing in there and it looks really like stiff. It doesn't look like it's been washed. It doesn't look like it's been washed very often.
You lay it out, it's just...
How long have you had that thing for?
Yeah, what's the story? I don't even know the story about
Like,
that.
I probably had that since I was 16, bro.
Why do I feel like I'm third wheeling you two?
Because we're the only one eating tacos.
It's like you two are like the cute little couple sharing food.
That is way better than this
You know, you got a bite. I think the agreement was one bite.
The first place at Secret Taco they brought out at the end, which I don't even think was on the menu, that was like probably the best taco I've ever had. And I'm not just saying that either, it was actually damn good.
Can a professional motorcycle racer parallel park a
How
car?
dare you guys trying to make me park here?
How many attempts? Hey, by the way, no pressure.
Dude. How smooth was that?
There you go. Nailed it. Look at that.
He's such a princess.
I performed pretty good under pressure.
We all know this.
Meanwhile, I'm profusely sweating. No, no.
I don't know, I didn't see no podium this weekend. I'm just kidding.
Brutal.
Mom tacos. Can I get one fish taco and a pulled pork?
The second taco place we went to, it was terrible. It was probably the worst taco I've ever had.
For sure, top 5 worst taco I've ever had. Thanks, pressurized. Evasive action.
Oh God. Ooh, home of Austin's favorite chocolate chip cookie.
One chocolate chip, one PB chip, and one triple chocolate. My chin is growing.
Your what?
My chin. I actually feel terrible right now. I'm not lying, I feel absolutely terrible. Meanwhile, I'm over here, 8 cookies in front of my face.
Yep.
Post Coda.
Ride the bull.
I decided, okay, let's go bull riding because I'm the only one that has experience because I have like a horse riding background. So I was like, you know what? At least it's something I can beat him at.
If you can stay on a bagger, you can stay on this.
Hey, that's true.
Whoa! What's the over under? Yeah! You gotta make it past 20 seconds. Oh! Oh! You made it. You made the over.
He's sitting there Googling how to do it and he jumps on and then he beats my time.
The only tip it basically gave you was have your back straight.
Oh, here it goes.
Wow. A lot harder than it looks.
Where? Get up here. You need to get up. No, you get up.
I'm watching.
No, you can't sit around. You got to jump around. The song's called Jump Around. No sit, not sit around.
Honestly, you let me down tonight.
I let you down.
You let me down.
Because I ride horses since forever. So if anything, I should have won. He beat me.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Like I should at least. My whole thing is chasing cows on a horse. So you'd think I'd be able to outride him. You beat us by like a solid 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, guys. I mean, it's okay.
Bagger Bob, Bulldog Bob.
Yeah. I remember my first loss.
Bull Bob.
Bull Bad Bog. Yeah, no, who won the karaoke though? Obviously, you.
Steve won karaoke.
Can I win something?
Well, you won being the beautiful person here. You're the best looking here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good save,
I'm a
Bob.
winner.
Yeah, good save. Good save.
Live at Barber Motorsports Park, Cam Beaubier, Loris Baz, Jake Gagne on that front row, but then you've got those heavy hitters right behind them, Cam Peterson, Josh Herron, and Sean Dillon Kelly. What do you expect for the opening stages?
I think Cam Beaubier has showed that he has a little bit of pace this weekend in his back pocket. You see Bobby Fong on the third row. You can go all the way down the list. There's a lot of guys, so I think you're going to see him be really, really aggressive early on in this race.
Here we go. Oh, wow. What a launch. What a launch by Cameron Beaubier. That thing just took off out of the blocks.
That's how we get started.
Both attack Yamahas got tremendous starts. Cam Peterson actually came from that second row, got himself into second, got past his teammate going there into turn one. The guy at the front, though, is the guy they got to watch out for, Greg. Look at him. He's already trying to stretch this lead out.
Killing it.
Cam Peterson right now, though, is on a very, very fast lap, and you can see his teammates not really closing up on him. Two different lines there between those two Yamahas. Gagne's much tighter all the way through up that long right-hander. Oh, Cam Beaubier's crashed, Greg.
Wow. And unfortunately, a huge mistake for Cameron Beaubier.
I came into the last section and was rolling through there, and I went to the gas and I was asking a little more than maybe I should have, and it felt like it didn't even try to catch me. I was on the edge of the tire and it just spun me around so quick, and Peter and Dave looked at it all night and just trying to figure out what we could do better to have a little more catch there.
They're still building momentum with the bike, right? And the bike's not 100% there for him yet. And so he keeps bumping into thresholds. As he feels more comfortable, he rides it harder, and then the crew has to react and change a few things on the bike. And so it's a constant moving target. I think he bumped up into an area with the TC that they hadn't seen before, and he hadn't really been there before because he hadn't been comfortable enough to ride the bike that hard yet. And so it was just a combination of things, and it, ended up kind of biting him there on Saturday's race.
Barber is a 3 Superbike race weekend, so having your biggest supporters with you helps take a moment away from what's at stake.
It was so awesome having Shelby and Brody here, and selfishly, even just for me, like, I'm not dreading leaving them on Wednesday to fly out here. Last thing I want to do is be the guy with the crying baby on the plane, but he did awesome.
Right before we took off, he slept for about an hour, and then he was awake, and then he fell asleep about 30 minutes before we landed, and then he took one dump on the plane, so that was fun, changing a poop diaper on the plane. But no crying, he was just having a good time.
Ow! Ow! Hey, for real though, ow. Ow.
I may not seem like the right guy for this, but when my kid was really little, even before he was born, I did a daddy boot camp class. And then after he was born, I went back as a veteran dad and brought my kid for the other dads to all get used to playing with a child. And we did that like pretty much every other week for, 4 or 5 months.
Race 2 on Sunday mirrored Beaubier's start on Saturday, but this time he finished with authority.
Are we doing the same as yesterday?
No.
Okay, what are we doing?
We're not going to crash.
Well, no, he already told me that.
Okay. Now is the time on Sprockets when we dance. It's for him, not for you. There's no way you know what that is. No, because you're. Yeah, it's fine. I should have said it in the headset.
Steel Commander Superbike. Race number 2, we're away, and it looked like the number 1 plate got a tremendous launch, but it's going to be Beaubier again who leads the way. And is he going to repeat this jackrabbit start he had yesterday?
Well, this time it's Gagne following in. Cam Peterson did, I thought, a commendable job trying to get himself onto the back of the number 6. This time it's Gagne, who we've also seen get off to these jackrabbit starts. Both of the Attack Yamaha boys are 2nd and 3rd as Herron is making a move, but he's not going to make the corner. Herron is off out into the gravel, and he's going to make it all the way to the barrier, Greg. So I'm not sure what happened there. Josh just really just got in there too hot. So look to see if he's up and okay.
And Herron's back up, and he's trying to dig himself out of that gravel trap.
Yep, and he will push. If that bike is okay, he'll do everything he can. You got to remember, Greg, in these kind of situations, the red flag can come out, and Josh can get right back in.
It's the raw talent of Josh Herron evades taking anybody out. We've seen that in the past as well. Gagne's got something going on.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. That could have been a small setup change that maybe just isn't working. But you're 100% right. These guys have all got through on the number 1 fairly easily. Look at Bobby Fong. It looks like he's trying to go up underneath Flores.
He does.
He's going to make it. He's going to make it. So Bobby Fong able to get that R1 turn really nicely through that turn 14, 15, 16 section. And he's doing exactly what we'd expect to see Bobby Fong do. Just keep charging, going forward.
Cameron Beaubier, even better than yesterday's first couple laps where he exited early, and he has got this race under control.
Jake obviously just got a little problem today. He's going to do everything he can to soldier on. This is our points leader by 20 points right now over the guy who's leading. So the thing is for Gagne, you know, you gotta on your bad days, you gotta try to bring the thing home.
He's done what he needed to do after disaster yesterday, and onto the front straightaway comes the Tytler Cycle BMW racer, Cameron Beaubier, and the battle for 2nd place, and Sean Dylan Kelly was able to get around him, and SDK doesn't settle for 3rd, and he's able to get into 2nd place, and Cam Peterson in 3rd. What a ride for Sean Dylan Kelly in his first podium in Steel Commander Superbike, and he's able to get past yesterday's race winner, Cam Peterson, and snatched 2nd place.
Race 3 was more of the same for Beaubier, but for Bobby Fong, it showed a steady progression of improvement in each race.
That battle for the podium that Bobby Fong wants to be a part of is getting away from him. Those guys up in the front, 23.6 for Beaubier, 23.7s for both Peterson and Kelly, and then Herron and Bobby Fong, they're in the high 24s, so there was about a second a lap, Craig, that this group here was losing. He's going to have to dig really deep. You can see that he is already starting to pull away.
That's always hard, having 2 Superbike races in one day with a 2-hour break in between. Literally by the time they got done with the podium ceremonies, press conferences, get back to the truck, try to get rehydrated and cool off, like you've literally got maybe an hour and 15 minutes before you're gonna be back out on track again.
These are 2 Super Sport national champions going at it in the Steel Commander Superbike class.
Saw SDK have a look over his shoulder to see who it was that's putting all this pressure on him.
First race, I was actually like, man, this is tiring, you know, but this one, I don't know, just from like the bagger and just from doing it for the last year and a half with the bagger Superbike, I'm kind of used to it.
Bobby Fong has done a tremendous job to get himself up into 2nd.
I felt great at the end of this race.
Red flag, red flag, red flag. All stations go red, all stations go red.
Red flag, race over.
Red flag.
A crash with 3 laps to go forced a red flag, and the race was called, with Beaubier taking the win. Fong in 2nd, SDK in 3rd. Gagne finished 8th.
Let's go to the podium, boys. Come on. Let's go to the podium. Yoo-hoo! Anticlimactic.
Thank you. Scoring, once again, our top 3 are 6, 5-0, and 4-0. Those 3 riders never seen at the winner's circle. All others depart from A for post-race inspection.
To cap off the weekend with 2 strong wins, like being able to pull a little gap felt really good. Obviously, I'm not sure exactly what's going on with Jake, but obviously that's not like him. He's really strong here. He's had multiple wins here, and I'm bummed for him for whatever's going on.
Beaubier leaves Barber with the points lead after Jake Gagne suffers from arm pump in race 2 and 3. Bobby Fong stays in 4th after recovering from a 9th place finish in race 1.
Trust me, I want to win, but being on the podium is nice too, and it feels like we belong there. We got a third at Road Atlanta, second here. Hopefully, obviously, there's one more step to go. I know the win's coming, so for sure. So we're gonna just keep on pushing and see what happens.
Back in California, Cameron Beaubier gets some time off between rounds with some longtime friends.
I invited this guy. He shows up in spandex. We're riding mountain bikes.
It's true.
A little embarrassing, but it'll do.
Well, I gotta make it look like you train a little bit harder, right?
It's super motivating to have two guys to ride with, let alone, your best friends.
Feels so good to drop Chaz.
We spent lots of years of talking smack to each other. And our kids are going to do the same thing for lots of years, for sure. Cameron and I met at the Supermoto track in Stockton because his uncle is a good friend of my family as well. He just kind of instantly became like my brother. And we were roommates, and he was best man at my wedding, and I was best man at his. And you just know an elite athlete when you see it. And I've never been close to one until I met Cam, and there's just another gear that the guy has.
I was training for moto. He was doing his deal, so we just linked up. We started training together, riding bicycles, riding moto, and that's kind of how we kicked off our friendship.
One time Cameron won at Sonoma on 600s, and he did a little slide on his cool-down lap, showing off for the fans. And
that was a super bike.
Oh, it was on a super bike, yeah. And he high-sided, and then he shows up at the end of the race, on Roger Hayden's bike, on the back of it, and
that was probably the most embarrassing moment of my career.
Yeah, and we went to his team, our other buddy Devin and I, and we got his bodywork, and we brought it home for him and surprised him with his smashed up bodywork that when he wrecked his bike on the grid on that.
That's in my garage right now.
It's in your garage right now? Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
I hope that makes the cut.
The more I fight, the more I fall again. But I'm a soldier, see I was born for this. I got drive, pedal to the floor with it. For the day ones that I never saw again. Thunder, rain, pouring in. Live twice around for the cause I believe in. You will never stop me enforcing it. Anything I do, fam, I take control. Pick up the pace, never take it slow. It's a dangerous world and I'm saving souls. Every one of my team worth their weight in gold. Battle with a beast, I'm a fighter. I'm wild if you test me. Who wants to smoke? Glide through time with a lighter. Man, I set fire to the trend and I'm breaking the mold.
On the next episode, Kayla gets another rain race, and Fong charges to the points lead in Superbike.